Hello friends, James Corbett, corbettreport.com here from the panic-stricken climes of Western Japan. I know many of you have been asking about how Japan is reacting to this crisis, and I gotta say, you know those Godzilla movies where everybody's panicking in the streets of Tokyo as Godzilla stomps through the city center and everyone's in total carnage? I never thought I would live to see the day where that is actually happening in real life. And I still don't. That's right, folks. Strangely enough, the streets are not eerily quiet, just regular. It's just a regular day. People going about their regular business. Business being the key word. No panic, no pandemonium, no closures, really. The schools have been closed, as you might have heard, but other than that, everybody's going about their regular routines. Why is that? We're here in East Asia, the epicenter of this global pandemic freakout, right? Surely we should be in total carnage right now, like so much of the rest of the world in lockdown, talking about martial law and all of this. No, not here. Why is that? Actually, there's a real learning opportunity here, because I think this shows us something about what's really happening here. Namely, that this is a psychological phenomenon that has more to do with social conditioning than it does with boots on the ground reality. Because you see, as I have talked about in my recent work, authoritarians of every stripe have been lusting after the excuse to impose the medical martial law scenario on its citizens. Every tyrant loves to flex his or her muscles in situations like this, and to condition the public to accept the pronouncements of authorities, would-be authorities in the future. But not the Japanese government. No, the Japanese are being told everything's fine, continue business as usual, no cause for alarm or panic or freak out, no martial law, no lockdowns, no quarantines. Again, why is that? Is it because there's far fewer cases here than anywhere else? No, far from it. It's because, well, there are a couple of reasons, but one, the Japanese government actually has its incentive on the other side. You see, people are not being told to freak out, at least at this point, about the coronavirus scare because of this. Oh, that's right. The Japanese government desperately is pretending that the Tokyo 2020 games are going to proceed as planned this summer. I think we know by now it is not. But the Japanese government hasn't woken up to that reality yet, so they are still pushing business as usual in Japan. Everything's fine. It's okay. We've got it under control. Everyone go about your daily routines. So, I think there is a lesson to learn from this. Namely, as we looked at in a recent Propaganda Watch episode on to hoard or not to hoard, you freak out when the governmental authorities tell you to freak out, and you don't freak out when they tell you not to freak out. Do you understand, citizen? So, when the Japanese government wakes up to reality and realizes that the Tokyo 2020 games are not going to go ahead as planned, that is precisely when I will expect the crackdown to occur. We will be told at that point to begin panicking, and the various martial law crackdown and quarantine and lockdown and all of that drill will be implemented here as everywhere else. But as I say, this is an important learning opportunity to understand that these crises are so much about perception management, and when it behooves the controllers to get people to panic, they will get people to panic. And when it behooves them to pretend that everything is fine, then everything is fine. It's almost as if it's all in your head. Well, there's so much more to say about so many different aspects of this, but we'll leave it there for today. I just wanted to show you just regular life here in Japan, with shops and everything all open and everyone going about their business as usual. Business as usual being the keywords here. And as I say, when the crackdown and the lockdown occurs, I'm sure I will be here to report on it for you and tell you all about it. But in the meantime, I'll just keep going about the daily duties. And on that note, of course, information coming out on corbettreport.com on a daily basis. I hope you'll be there to join me for it. James Corbett, corbettreport.com. You know, come to think of it, I should hoard some of that Tokyo 2020 merch. That'll be a collector's item someday.